What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin today, BTC USD. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. It is the fourth day of September, and here we are at about $109,400, down 2% on the day. Quite the negative day so far. I know there's Jerome Powell talking about like three different things today, and I'm assuming those reports probably aren't coming out too well, or maybe they're coming out positive and we're still moving down. Whatever the market, the plan before today, regardless of Jerome Powell speaking, was for the markets to move down. They say, show me the charts and I'll tell you the news. And right now, the news is probably not good, I guess. And I was saying as well that as we get down to this week of the 16th, 17th, within a week from there, I would assume we're going to get a lot of negative news in crypto. Right now, we're still getting some positive news, which typically positive news at the lows means that you're not at the lows, or it's a rarity. Rarely do you get positive news at the lows. It's not that it doesn't happen, but and whenever I say positive news, I mean in like a general mainstream media kind of perspective, right? Right now, mainstream is still talking positive about us, right? Here, they're talking positive about Bitcoin and crypto and all that stuff. Right now, they're talking about positive about Ethereum, Solana, Bitcoin, whatever. Here, they're talking negative, right? Positive, negative, positive, and really it's been positive this whole way through, essentially, for the most part, with some sprinkles of negativity. But once it's mainly negative, then I think we will find our low, and I would assume we're going to find our low soon. This next move down might do it. We'll be down at about $105,000 sometime by the end of this week or sometime next week, and then kind of do our thing, meander for a little bit, and or maybe like move up and then come down and find a higher low. And it's at this low area that we'll see a lot of negative news, I'm assuming. Um, that there are some things to be a little bit concerned with, but I don't think that we're going to go below $100,000. Here at $109,000, anything's possible. We could reverse and come back up, but typically, whenever you get these pretty bold candles with a doji candle at the top and you get a bold candle down, that tends to promote growth to the downside, typically. Not always, but typically. Do we have an example of that here? Let's see. I mean, this is one right here, right? Bold candle up, doji candle, bold candle down, down you go. Anyways, looking at this here from a relative low on the 3rd of August to the relative high that we have here on the 14th of August, we've been very deconstructive, as we pointed out in yesterday's video, right? Or I guess it was today's video, but earlier today's video, technically. Finding support at the 100, finding resistance at the golden ratio, finding support at the 1272, finding resistance at the 886, finding support at the 1414, finding resistance at the 100. Just stair stepping your way down. As you see lower lows and lower highs, they're just at each of these like incremental next steps in the fibs. And the next step to go down to here would be $104,800, right below 105K. And a little fun fact, typically, typically, if not through the golden ratio to the next fib areas, Bitcoin does like to wick a little bit below. So if that's there at 104.8K, could we see prices below 104K? Absolutely. If we go below this line, is all hell breaking loose? No, that's probably right where we're going to find support, is right below that line. That'd be my guess. Maybe back here at this resistance point. I don't know. Something like that. Maybe right there. Oh, I guess that's actually a little bit above the line. It could be a little bit above the line too, but typically you do go just below that golden ratio or above it if it's to the upside. Low to high here, that golden ratio down there is at 104K. Again, you might go a little bit below 104K. We look at these liquidation levels over the past 7 days. Shorts to longs, we haven't uploaded it. Let's just see how it changes. More shorts have piled on. That's good. Well, of course they're going to as we're dropping down. That's good. We want to see more shorts piling on. But a lot of these longs get cleared out essentially at $104,000, right? You see that number there in the black box, 104,000 on the dot. That is right at the last kind of line of this long island that we have here, island of longs. Looking at the past 24 hours, we're going to clear some out at 108K, 105K, yeah. And then over the past 30 days, if it loads, 103K. Most of it gets cleared out at about 105K. There's a lot of green, and as we move down, more longs will get piled on in those areas too, but more shorts will as well. This is we're coming up on some of the most shorts we've seen, which makes sense as we go lower. A lot of these shorts, people have a real hard time taking profits. They have a real hard time taking profits, and oftentimes they layer into their shorts even more. So if we're back down here, we're not even at lower lows, and we see these 30-day liquidations. rising to over $20 billion, that would mean that we've got more liquidations piled on than we did whenever we were at that the first time. So here at the second time, we'd have even more shorts piled on. And I can only imagine how many more shorts we'd have piled on there. You guys, $20 billion, that's crazy. That's crazy stuff. People are going to get wrecked to the upside, right? This idea that we're going to go into a recession or that we're in a bear market, any of that, I think it's fugazi. I don't think it actually is real. I know that I read a report yesterday saying that for the first time since April of 2021, we all remember what happened in mid to late 2021, right? Anybody? Everybody? It was the end of alt season, the end of the bull run for Bitcoin at the end of 2021 there. Most altcoins topped off in April or May, maybe. That was where Bitcoin had its first top of that double top. For the first time since that time frame, we've seen unemployment at a higher rate than the amount of available job positions that there are. It's something like that, right? It's the first time that we've seen it since then. So stuff like that's kind of concerning, and might stunt growth a little bit. But I'm curious to see there's other than that, there's a lot of other positive things that are going on in the markets. But if we were to go through some kind of lull right now, I think we already have really been going through a lull since July, and even through May, really, we've been going through a kind of lull, like a long term. It was slightly bullish, but overall, like a very long term lull. I'm actually curious looking at this now. Is this a running flat? I'm not so big on Elliott wave theory, but if this is a running flat, it'd be a bullish running. Is this a running flat? Do you see it? Do you see it? Right. Let me see. Hold on. Bullish running flat. Yeah, right here. We've looked it up before. Come. Give me the picture. I clicked on it. Oh, it's loading. Okay. I want the picture, but I don't want it. Look at that. Hey. Right? Right? Am I right? I think I'm right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 5 on the way down. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're getting 5 on the way down. It looks like it could be a running flat. That's a bullish pattern, actually. It's a bullish Elliott wave. I'm not the biggest proponent of Elliott wave theory, but being that I love Fibonacci retracement tools, it kind of goes hand in hand. So if anybody knows more about Elliott wave, I'd be curious to know what's going on here. Flat patterns. They're like horizontal channels for the most part, and we're kind of in one. They're not horizontal channels. They're not explicitly horizontal channels, but kind of like it, right? You're running flat, but bullish. You've clearly got the bullish implication there. I don't think we go below this low with that, right? Like some of these. Look at this picture here. It looks like you go right to that low or even below this low. I don't think that's what's going to happen. It's not going to be an expanded flat or a regular flat. I think it's going to be a running flat. Oh, okay. So that is a running flat. See, I don't know what I'm talking about. Running flats do have higher lows. Okay. Yeah, I think it will be a running. So it's a bullish running flat. That's cool. So that does, from a chart perspective, and this is a pretty grandiose pattern here since May of 2025, the predominant part of this year. We have been in this bullish configuration. It's like one large consolidation phase. Doesn't that make sense? I think that makes so much sense because we had this move up, right? And it looks like we've just been consolidating. It's like this was clearly a move up. What the hell is this? This is weak sauce right here. It's almost like this back here. Can we get it? Can we get it? I mean, like it's like that right there, or like this back here, where you had to move up, but it didn't matter. See, that was a, what is that? What's that called? A regular flat. A regular flat. I don't even know how reliable this information is, right? From FBS, I don't know if they're reliable or not. Elliott wave forecast. Anybody wanting to learn Elliott waves, Elliott wave theory, Elliott wave forecast, they know what's up. I think they know what's up. I've used them a lot and checked them out, and they seem to know what they're talking about. That's how we actually we used them whenever we were defining this zigzag pattern back in the bear market, right? You had a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-legged pattern. It was perfect. I was expecting that we go a little bit lower, but this is like the minimum requirement of that pattern to be hit. It was literally a perfect pattern, that bear market zigzag. Anyways, getting back to work here, I do think we have lower to go, my friends. I don't think that's any surprise. But clearly, I'm also bullish into what happens after this. We're in this running flat pattern here up at the top, and I believe that once we break out, we should see movement just like we saw back here. We should see movement just like we saw back here, movement like we saw back here. I wouldn't be surprised if the movement we saw here was even more powerful than what we saw recently, right? Here, like here you're just figuring things out. Here you're seeing new highs relative to this bull market. Here you're seeing new highs relative to the bull market. Here you're moving up, and most of your move, again, most I should rephrase that. Most of this move was seeing new highs relative to the bull market. Here, moving up, most of your highs, most of this move was at new highs relative to the bull market and new all-time highs altogether. This was actually the most bullish move of the cycle so far in the shortest amount of time. Here, this move was not seeing new all-time highs. For most of this is seeing not new highs relative to this bull market. It was just retracing this move. Here, whenever we start to move up, we will be seeing new highs, not just relative to the cycle, but relative to our lifetime. I think with the context of this long-term kind of consolidation phase we've been in, we're going to see an eruptive move that we haven't seen since October, November of last year. If not, it might be the most bullish move of this cycle. I really wouldn't be surprised if that's what happened. So I doubt we go below 105K. I doubt we go below 100K. I very much expect we go below 105K. I very much doubt that we are at the end of the bull market. I don't think that that's what's happening here, you guys. There are some negative pieces coming out, negative news and stuff like that coming out, but it's not compelling enough. If we look at CoinGlass here real quick, let's see. Do we have... Where is it? What was it? Would it be bull market peak indicators? Hold 100%. We're in hold time 100%. There's zero doubt by the metrics standards, right? Has it been hit or not? You see all these X's? This means have we hit our peak market indicators, which have been hit every single cycle that we've had before. Almost the majority of them do, especially the pi cycle top. Okay, but no, all the way down. Not a single one of them has been achieved. Not a single one. Right, and these are all indicators that, for the most part, most of them have. That RSI is no joke either. They have in the rainbow chart as well. They have been very reliable in our prior bull markets. None of them are hitting right now. Right, the metrics, the charts, everything that we're seeing here from a technical perspective says hold. But remember, as time goes on, probably over this next week and a half, we will probably have some negative news. It will challenge you. I'm gonna have to make a motivational video on that note. So I got nothing else. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye bye.